Hey everyone, Cable the Antique Book Collective, and guys, I've got one of the most important BOLO's videos that I've made, honestly, to date, I would say. And guys, this particular video is about Syriac and Septuagint Bibles. So guys, those are two of the oldest translations of the Bible, oldest recorded versions of the Bible, however you want to say it, however you want to do it, all that sort of stuff. When you guys can get those translations translated into English, particularly those that are older ones. I'm saying like 1800s and older, but even honestly, I've seen some of them that are like very, very, very early 1900s. When you guys can get your hands on those, it is one of the best things that you guys can do. I don't actually have any of them on hand right now, so I have some stand-in Bibles to serve as my prop. But guys, when you guys can get these particular Septuagint Bibles, it is some of the best money that you can make. Honestly, I find most of them are going to be leather bound. I've had a couple that are, as I'm thinking about it, I think I've had like one that is cloth bound. Most of them are going to be leather though. A lot of them are going to be like ratty as everything because they are just so old and well read and well studied and are just been beaten up over the years. But that is something, guys, that you guys can definitely keep an eye out. Something I'm going to say though, remember how I said that a lot of them are well worn and very well read and basically destroyed. Something about that, I know a lot of people are going to pass over that and be like, oh, it's worth nothing. Why would I bother with that, guys? Even the beat up one, guys, are worth so much money. So guys, with that said, the Septuagint and Syriac Bibles, these particular translations of the Bible have treated me very, very well. So guys, I buy my books most of the time for between $1 and $2. These particular ones, I think I might have spent a smidgen more than that. And by a smidgen, I mean like a couple of dollars more. But honestly, you can get along even spending... I wouldn't recommend spending this much, but you could probably get along spending $20 on these particular Bibles and still make some very good money on them for the Septuagint and Syriac translations. Again, that is just for those particular translations. Don't do it for any run-of-the-mill translation. Those are not always worth a whole lot of money. In fact, I have a lot of these antique Bibles that are worth like $10, even though they are 200 years old. It's crazy to think, but that is definitely the case for a lot of the Bibles out there. So don't just buy whatever Bible you can willy-nilly and think you're amazing and gonna make money. You're not, especially if you're spending so much money, but it is something to keep in mind. So with that said though, why am I saying this? What? Caleb, I'm not gonna buy some random old Bible. I don't even know it. I don't even know this translation. How do I look for it, guys? Guys, calm down. Calm down. I know someone's going to freak out at me. I always have people freak out at me. So let me just tell you straight up. So this one's a German Bible, so not really the best example, but I think it's a beautiful one. So just open up the Bible that you are looking at. If you think it might be a Septuagint one or an old one in general, look up that stinking title page. Nice and simple. It'll say Holy Bible, or in this case, it'll say German, but then it'll tell you the actual translation of the Bible that you're looking at. You are looking for something that says Septuagint or Syriac. Those are the two major money makers. Of course, there are a lot of other Bibles out there that are worth still a good amount of money, and you will be very happy to get them. I've sold Bibles for several $100s. Most of them are not too amazingly valuable, but I still like to sell them because I think they are really beautiful, really cool, and all that sort of stuff. But the Syriac and Septuagint Bibles, guys, those are the ones you want to look out for. When you are looking for them, not only find out that they are, in fact, Syriac and Septuagint Bibles, also check out the year. You are looking for ones that are older than dirt. So for me, most of the ones that I find that are Bibles, and a lot of the Bibles that I end up selling actually, are late 1800s to, I would say 1899 like is the cutoff for some reason. Those are the cutoffs for the really, really valuable Bibles that I come across. Of course, not every single Bible that I come across that is from those years is the most valuable one, but that is something that I find that is, there's a whole lot of them out there and people are really into them and really are trying to collect as many as they can. With that said though, guys, that's all of that for the buy side of things. Let's talk sell side. I know we're all talking about reselling, so selling is part of the reselling word. You can't spell it without selling, you know. So for me, these things sell so incredibly well. I think the cheapest one I've sold was $60. I think the most expensive was well over $100 for the Syriac and Septuagint Bibles. I am certain that I could get a whole lot more money on these things, but the problem is, well, they sell so stupid fast. I get someone that sends in an offer for $80 and I'm like, I'm asking $100. $80, close enough. I don't give a rip. I paid $2 for it. I am happy as everything. So these books, guys, the Syriac Bibles and Septuagint Bibles, I had one sell in 13 minutes. I had another one sell, I want to say it was 2 hours. I had another one sell the next day. These things sell so stupid fast. Other Bibles I sit on for months on end or years on end, depending on the particular Bible. Some of them just a couple of weeks. But stinking the Septuagint and Syriac ones, they sell so amazingly fast. And again, I am accepting offers on a lot of these things just because I'm happy to get returns on my money. Because again, I'm spending, let's say, $5 even on the book. If I spent $5 and someone sends me an offer for $80, I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to complain, especially if I'm asking $100. It's like $20 less. I don't care. I'm still making an amazing multiple on my money. So the reason why I cannot tell you guys exactly how high these things are worth is because, again, I am accepting offers on these things because I get some pretty generous offers. But they are definitely worth at least $60 or $80, or if you have really, really beautiful ones, I've seen them listed for over $200. There are so many things that you guys can do with the Syriac and Septuagint Bibles. Again, I'm specifying Syriac and Septuagint. I'm saying it so many times to nail it through everyone's heads. Those are the particular ones that you guys want to look for that are worth so amazingly much. I mean, I'm actually shocked every single time that I get one. I'm like, this Bible here is worth $5. This one here is $20. This one's $100? But they look the same. The only difference is literally the translation. And the reason for that, guys, is a lot of Christians and other people who study the Word of God, they like to get the ones that are as close to the actual translations and as old as they possibly can. That's why a lot of people prefer the King James Version. It's like, oh, that one's several hundred years old. That's amazing. Whereas this one's only 20 years old. This one's 50 years old. People like getting the oldest translations they can for a lot of reasons. They enjoy reading them. They enjoy studying them. There's a certain richness about getting stuff that's closer to the actual things. Of course, there is the whole issue of, well, listen, pal, the translation we have now is literally translated from that, and it's just updated to modern English, and people are still like, no, I want the old one. And personally, for me, I am one of those people. I like reading in the King James. That is my thing. I am a weirdo, I understand, but it's really interesting how many other people like that too. And guys, again, people pay up for the privilege of reading some of these things. So with that said and done though, guys, again, this is probably one of the most important BOLOs because it is such immensely easy money that you can make. Again, I don't have any on me right now, so just pretend with me that this is one of them, and that's one, and this one is, and this one. Yeah, let's pretend they all are actually Syriac and Septuagint Bibles, but if they were, they would have sold by the end of this video already, because guys, it is amazing how fast these things sell. I get, like, as soon as I list it, I am getting like 5 watchers sometimes, and then I'm getting offers within a couple of minutes, and I'm just like, man, if I actually responded to that guy's offer immediately when it came in, I could have sold this book in 3 minutes. Like, it is insane how fast this sort of stuff can sell. With that said, though, guys, I'm sure a lot of you astute viewers are like, Caleb, I've never seen one of these, but I want one. I want 5 of them. I want every single one in the world. How do I get my hands on it? Hey, guys, I will tell you, but I'm going to ask you hit the like button first. And I'm not going to continue unless you do. I'm kidding. I can't pause this video if you don't. But, guys, if you guys are into actually finding some of these, the best place that I've found for these particular books is find an old like priest or pastor who really likes studying stuff, find an estate sale for something like that, or just a theologian, try to find their thing, because again, those people like studying the Bible as well. Those are 2 that are going to be pretty hard to find if I'm being like 110% honest, but if you find them, there can be such amazing things. Even like people who lead Bible studies for their church, sometimes those people have some amazing books. Those have been some of the places that I've gotten some amazing deals on all the different things that I've done. I've made some amazing returns on it. Those are just estate sales, so let's set that aside. That's an iffy thing. We don't know for certain if you're going to find these things. I don't even know how many people there are doing estate sales that even are into that, honestly. If we're being completely real with you guys, I do not come across a whole lot of like hardcore Christian studying awesome people that have all these books out of the wazoo. I don't come across those very often because I am so picky with the estate sales I go to. It is still a good majority, maybe not majority, close to majority, of the ones that I go to, because again, I am so picky on the ones I go to. I want to go to ones that are just home runs. I am a home run hitter for the estate sales I go to, because I'm just tired of going to these and getting like 5 mass market paperbacks and being like, well, that was a waste of time. So I like to go to the ones that I know I'm going to do very well on, which is those. But that's just me. With that said, though, guys, that's the estate sales. That's one thing. For you guys, if you want to be, I'm not going to say guaranteed, but if you want to have a near guarantee of finding the Syriac and Septuagint Bibles and other incredibly valuable books on Christian history, Christian theology, all that sort of stuff, hit up your local Christian college. There are Christian colleges, guys, that are only 100 years old, but for some reason they have Bibles and whatnot that are 300 years old because people will donate them to these particular colleges. And guys, there are so many colleges that have immense libraries, but you only are actually looking, like, let's say you're a student or you're just walking in, you're only looking at like 50%, or maybe, well, in some cases, let's say you're looking at 80% of their books. But there's still a ton of them that are withdrawn from the main use of the library. They are still in the library, and the librarians generally are like, well, I have one person look at this book per 5 decades, and like a lot of these books, they're just sitting there, unwanted, unread, sort of wasting away, honestly, guys. It's really sad to see some of them, but they're just sitting there, dying, and all these librarians are like, yeah, I know I have that one, but no one wants it. You can go in as a seller, and guys, if you go in respectfully, they will open their things up and be like, oh, you're a bookseller. How much would you sell these? Sorry, how much would you buy these books for? How much would this? They will ask a lot of questions, of course, because I mean you're buying their babies from them. But if you guys can sort of like let them know, yeah, I will probably buy $500 worth of books. I will buy $300 worth of books, $100, $1,000. It really depends on the ones you go to, the stuff you see. But if you guys can do that and tell them, yeah, it can really help your library. You can get all these new books coming in. I will clear out this entire room of all these old books here. Like, you can do these sorts of things. You're doing them a favor by clearing things out and helping them sort of send these books along to someone else that'll enjoy them, because a lot of let's face it, a lot of librarians are like us, guys. We love books, and honestly, it sort of hurts to see a book just sitting there unread, unloved. I mean, it's like, no, you deserve to be read, Mr. Book. You were made to be read. And seeing you sit there is just sad. So a lot of librarians, I find, are pretty willing to get rid of some books, especially if you're paying them well enough that they can actually help the library out and get the library doing some better stuff. With that said, though, there are some interesting things that'll vary from library to library that I'm not going to get into in this video, but it is something definitely, guys, for you to keep in mind. Pro tip, though, if you guys do go to a college, a library in a college, to do these things, I would recommend like having at least a Post-it note. I would recommend an entire sheet of paper and a pen, and I would actually itemize out every single thing that I'm buying. So I'm not just like, oh yeah, I'll buy that whole box for $5 off you, and pull, like you guys saw in Toy Story how the guy put Woody and the other things he wanted at the bottom and then covered it in junk. It's like, oh, I'll take this junk off you for this. We're not trying to do shady stuff like that. You want to be completely upfront and be like, that box right there has this, and this book in it. Here are the prices that I'm willing to pay for them. It comes out to this, so that's what I'm paying for that box. This box here, and like, it is a little bit of an information overload, so it is a little bit of a maybe not most honest thing that you can do. So you do information overload them on, these are all the things for this, these are all the things for this, but these people do find it valuable to at least know what you're getting into, what you're paying, all these sorts of things. And I find that itemizing the prices of these things also is very beneficial, because when you say, oh, in this book here, I'm buying it for $3, and they'd be like, oh, no, I want $20 for that one. You're like, okay, I'll put that one back then. It's really helpful because you actually know what's in each box, all that sort of stuff. It makes the entire negotiation process immensely easier. And in addition to, guys, when you're buying that many boxes of books, they're a lot more apt to negotiate downwards. So instead of you coming in saying you're buying $100 worth of books, and they're like, oh, this guy's going to waste my time, and you buy like 5 books. If you're buying 105 books, they're going to be a lot more apt to cut you a deal, because they're like, oh, wow, that's $500 in my pocket right quick. I mean, it's really easy for them to sort of let the numbers of the money that you're getting them really sort of impede the I'm trying to think of the exact way to say it, kind of impede how much they could potentially get for these books, and that's just because you're buying in bulk. People, no matter what, will see something as, when you're buying in bulk, you deserve a deal. That is just something that people automatically understand, automatically perceive. If you're buying 1 or 2 books, they're going to ask $10 a book. If you're buying 105 books, they will totally give it to you for $1 each or $5 each, something along those lines. It is worth doing, though, guys. So I know this last little part of this video was a little convoluted and all over the place, but it is a little bit of tips that I've picked up from doing this for long enough. So with that said and done, though, guys, I think this video is long enough. So again, please be sure to hit the like. It does help this channel. Please be sure to subscribe as well. If you guys would like, be sure to check out one of my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.